Oh, hey guys, come in.
Thanks. Everyone, this is Rebecca.
Hi.
Hi. She's younger and far more attractive than he is. They're copying you two.
Started with a big bang.
The Big Bang Theory has some of the worst couple pairings in television history. The worst of them, in my opinion, being Penny and Leonard, and for multiple obvious reasons. And in my opinion, they actually threw away the chance to showcase an even more functional and inspiring couple, which is Penny and Sheldon. Yeah, I know. Just let me land. Raj ended up alone as he should have. I know some of you wish he got a happy ending, and perhaps that would have been nice, but after the BS he pulled off with Emily and Claire, he doesn't deserve the comfort of his right hand even.
Knew it. Okay, we did have a vibe. This is exciting. What's my next move?
You still have a girlfriend.
Right, good catch.
He is the ultimate nice guy, a man who pathologically seeks approval and validation from the opposite gender by being extremely nice and accommodating to others, even at their own expense, but peel off even a single layer of their personality and will be confronted by one of the most selfish, lying, manipulative pieces of shit, man, you've ever encountered. He can go to hell, in my opinion. As for Howard and Bernadette, he should have been in jail a long time, man. He should have never had the chance to meet that innocent, albeit scary woman, and I think that's something all of us can agree on at least. Now back to Leonard and Penny and why they're one of the worst couples in television history. A relationship like this would not work in any universe except the Big Bang Theory. And I'm not talking about a short, nerdy, aesthetically deficient man built for radio dating a smoke show whose beauty is only darkened by her inverted personality. No, that actually does happen in real life. I'm talking about a relationship where the smoke show thinks her boyfriend is a short, nerdy, aesthetically challenged man who doesn't deserve her. And in return, the man just worships the ground the lady walks on. Need I remind you that she actually alluded to his many shortcomings consistently throughout the 12 seasons and without remorse. And to make the reality even worse, she's richer than him. So we can't even say that she's there for the stability. And we can't also even say she's attracted to his confidence because he has none. He's insecure at every juncture of their relationship, and even I as a straight man was turned off by that shit. Now, to be fair, Leonard does make fun of Penny's smooth brain from time to time, but it's always in a manner that insinuates she makes up for all these few shortcomings with her beauty. And he never says these statements to her face like she does. It's always out of earshot, unless I'm mistaken because it's been a while since I watched a train wreck of a show. Anyway, all the aforementioned reasons above are why I think Sheldon and Penny would have been the perfect couple.
So, Sheldon, tell me more about this princess you say I look like.
It was said that the gods fashioned her eyes out of the stars, and that roses were ashamed to bloom in the presence of her ruby lips.
Oh, my.
Back off, Sheldon.
The show had long established that the two cared for each other in their own unique way, and she actually had the ability to reach and ground him in a way that no other character would, except maybe his mother, which actually says something considering Mary Cooper's obsession with her own son since he was a child. Now, to be fair, that's where the potential benefits end, but still, man, hear me out. Of course, Penny would still think all those things that she thinks about Leonard, about Sheldon, and if I were to be honest, she might actually think even worse things. But the only difference this time is not only would Sheldon never care or let it get to him as we've seen throughout the 12 seasons, he would actually never agree with her. As a matter of fact, he would match her energy and equally big at her insecurities if she ever tried to do so. For instance, she will think he is ugly with the masculine qualities of a skittle, and he will think she is genetically unsuitable to have offsprings with even in an apocalypse. She would think he is a poorly adjusted nerd, and he thinks she is as stupid as they come. They actually perfectly cancel each other's perceptions out, even as friends, but they still cared deeply for one another despite these frictions. And to top it all off, she will never be able to use her, you know what, as the ultimate tool of manipulation and propaganda, man. Because we know this G doesn't give two shits about getting his meat wet. In fact, if anything, from what we know about Penny from the show, the opposite will happen. We saw her get a total mental breakdown because, among other things, she hadn't hooked up in just 6 months.
Haven't even had sex in 6 months.
Okay, maybe not just, because, man, that should be long enough to kill a man. But in Sheldon's timeline, that's totally nothing. And this actually implies he'd really be the one to use seduction as a tool of manipulation, as we saw him do with Emmy throughout the show. I'm not saying it's healthy, but you know, Now, I understand your worries. Penny would never survive in such a relationship, and those concerns are valid. But that's besides the point. Relationships are literally made up of highs and downs and dry spells due to issues out of our control as humans. It's only that this is Sheldon, so it's a perpetual trip through laws. But let's not get sidetracked. If she can handle Leonard and all his peculiar attributes, she should be able to handle and terraform Sheldon slowly. My point at the end of the day is the relationship is perfectly balanced and none of the two wield any unfair power over the other. Now, to close the video, I'd like to remind you of some of the top toxic moments throughout Penny and Leonard's relationship that should have been deal breakers and those which, in my opinion, would have never happened if it were a Penny and Sheldon relationship. Do you guys remember when Penny told Bernadette that Leonard's job was to make her happy, while hers was to let him do that? Now, tell me that attitude isn't a recipe for disaster, man. And no, it wasn't a joke, because throughout the show we rarely get to see Penny be affectionate to the nerdy lad, man. And I mean rarely. And in return, Leonard used Penny as a trophy girlfriend every chance he got, such as during the Comic-Con. Now, none of these two would be the case if Sheldon and Penny were together. If anything, she'd have to be patient as Sheldon slowly learned to prioritize her emotional, physical, and whatever needs. Simultaneously, Sheldon would slowly learn to appreciate Penny's beauty and ability to connect with the world and other people.
She's remarkable. She really is. Our Penny's a star. How can she remember all those lines? But as a waitress, she can't remember no tomato on my hamburger.
Lastly, do you guys remember when Leonard cheated on Penny? I mean, not the one. And many people tend to believe this was unnatural and due to lazy writing to create unnecessary conflict. But you should remember that Mr. Leonard had done this before to Priya when he cheated on her with Alice.
If you like this girl so much, why don't you just end things with Priya?
Priya and I are in love. I think we could get married someday.
Leonard, you're looking for a way to sleep with both women and have everybody be happy about it.
Now we're getting somewhere.
The only reason that did not leave a stain on Leonard's personality is because Priya had also cheated on him with her ex-boyfriend, and unlike Leonard, she had actually gone the whole way. If anything, actually, according to me, making Penny forgive him for that transgression is their natural and lazy writing part. You guys should remember that despite Penny's promiscuous lifestyle, not once did she cheat on any of her lovers, which must imply it's a principle she values, and thereby it only makes sense she'd expect the same from the people she's dating. And to close all that up, man, we know Sheldon will never. Am I right?
I'm uncomfortable having been included in your lie to Penny.
What was I supposed to say?
You could have told her the truth.
That would have hurt her feelings.
Is that a relevant factor?
And this actually reminds me of the time Penny's friend was visiting and needed a place to crash. Leonard man spent the whole time shaming Penny for daring to have a male friend crash on her sofa, even though throughout their lives she's never shown a propensity to cheat. Now, to be honest, my girlfriend's male friend crashing on her sofa would make me quite uncomfortable too. And while I'd never shame my girlfriend for that decision, I'd still voice my concerns. But I'd never have the guts to open my mouth if I were a cheater myself. So yeah, what do you guys think about that? I'm not saying Penny and Sheldon would have been the healthiest couple, but they surely make a whole lot sense than Penny and Leonard. As for who Leonard should have ended up with, there are a lot of other more suitable girlfriends, I think. Stephanie and Alex, for example. Both women were excellent matches for him in terms of interests, personality, and attitude.
Status.
Stephanie Barnett is in a relationship with Leonard Hofstadter.
Really? Oh, look at that. I have a girlfriend.